guys, my name is Natalie Allred with Happy Tales Dog Training. Today we're going to go over Rosie's graduation will go home video. We're going to cover most of her commands and behaviors. The commands and behaviors we're not going to cover are the ones associated with potty training and loose leash walking and distraction training. Those ones we'll go over very extensively in the go home session, and we have online material that will help those transition a lot better than we could in a video. So without any further ado, let's get started. So there are a few things I want to point out. So Rosie is a living animal, and being so, she's very subject to changes in her environment. Being in a new home with new people, she's going to have a few days she'll need to settle in. In those few days, you might see her offering some bad behaviors. Her attention might not be as good. She might not offer her commands as well as she would for us. It's totally normal. What you can do to help that out is to show her that the rules here are the same or very similar to the rules you have in your home. And a few basic guidelines. We don't allow our puppies to jump up. We don't allow our puppies on the furniture, in our place at least. If you want to have the dog on the furniture at your home, that's totally okay, totally up to you guys. We don't allow our puppies to bite clothing. So as long as you show her that the basic rules and understanding are the same, she will settle in a lot quicker, a lot faster. Where are you going? You're so silly. The same thing with her commands and behaviors. You want to try to be as consistent as you can with her hand signals and verbal cues so that she knows what you want her to do, so that she knows what you're asking of her. For example, we teach sit with our fingers held in the position of a pinch. She would respond very well if your sit was this, for example, or this, or this. So try to have the hand signals be as consistent as possible. If you want to change it for something else that we've already done, that's totally okay. All you would do is retrain it and show her that the command means the same. Rosie, where you going, dog? Come here. You just come here. Yeah, what's going on? A little bit of a discover. Yeah. Okay, so let's get started. The first commands we're going to cover are the ones associated with crate training. So let's get started. Here you go, miss. Okay, so we want our puppies to love their crate. We want it to be the best place they can ever be. So we only reward the puppy for being in their crate and not for coming out. So they understand that there is a higher reward, yes, to being inside the crate than there is for coming out. Good. So when I give the command, go inside, yes, I'm going to mark with our marker cue, which is yes, and give her treat. Okay. Then motion for her to come out. Good. When she comes out, I'm not going to give her any treats, so that she'll go back in. Good. Okay. Well done. Ready? Rosie, go inside. Yes. Good job. Another part of this is you don't want her to rush the door. So this is a new area. She hasn't trained in here very often, so her behaviors might not be as great here as they would be otherwise. So we're going to take a few minutes, a few little tries here and there to show her that, hey, the rules are the same. We're still going to ask her to obey the same way we would otherwise. Rosie, sit. Good. So before she comes out of the crate, we like our dogs to sit. And they should stay sitting as the door opens. Okay, and they're released. Good girl, well done. For that, I'll give her a treat because she did a really well done job. She's her hair down. Let's do that again. Go inside. Yes. Good. Let's close the door. Rosie, sit. Good. So asking her to sit before she comes out is more of a polite cue, and it will prevent her from bolting out of the crate and rushing to get out. It just shows that she has the patience. Good. Yes. If she were to rush out, all you would do is close the door in her face. Don't slam it shut, just close it very softly, but don't let her get out of the crate until, okay, release her. Well done. That was so smart. All right. So hand signals for the crate cues are go inside, pointing to the crate, yes, and okay. A flat palm facing the dog, inviting them to come out. Well done. So the word okay is not a demand command. The dog can choose to ignore it if they so choose. Oh, so good. All it means is you're free to go. We're done training this little exercise. And if she wants to stay there for longer, that she's totally okay too. Well done. Okay. Well done. So smart. Yeah, well done. The next commands we're going to go over are place, wait, and come. So the place command is very similar to the crate, whereas we're sending the dog to a destination and they can't get off until they're invited to do so. Ready? And the hand rules are pretty much the same as well. Place. Oh, where is it? Place. Yes, right there. Good. We want to have her sit before she gets her treat. Well done. So with this command and the crate command, we want to toss the dog a treat to where they're sitting so that they're not drawn to come to us, so that we can leave, we can take a few steps away, and they'll stay on their bed or in their crate because all the rewards are coming from where they're sitting. And the same thing with the crate, our release command is okay. Yeah, that's a good girl. Well done. And same thing again, no treats for coming off the place. I will give her affection, I'll give her some verbal praise and some pets and cuddles. You did a good job. But no treats. So that she'll go right back to her place. Well done. That's so smart. All right. Now let's move on to wait and come. Rosie. Can I get your bag, puppy? Over here. Well done. Put this right up here. All right. Oh, good. So with the wait command, sit. Sit there, good. It's very similar to stay. The only difference is with a stay, you want the dog to stay put while you leave and come back to them before they're released. This is more of an adult command. The puppies know it because we teach wait and stay in very similar ways. But we use the word wait because it's more of a relaxed command. With the wait, she's allowed to break it, okay, and come to us when she's invited. Good job. And again, with the crate in place and wait, no rewards for breaking the command. Good. Just physical and verbal praise. Well done. Let's do it again. And Rosie, being a very affectionate puppy, she seems to enjoy physical praise the same as she does food praise. So, sit. Good. A nice cuddle session for her is comparable to a nice awesome treat because she loves human affection. Okay? Yes, well done. That's so smart. If you want to give her a treat, ask her to sit. Sit. Good. And give her a treat for something else that she's done. Well done. Well done. So that's the wait with an okay. Now let's practice a come. Over here. All right. Sit. Yes. Wait. So very similar. When I give her the command, C-O-M-E. Yeah. When I give her the command, I'm going to give her a treat because with the word C-O-M-E, we want there to be a high rate of reward and reinforcement so that they come more often to us. Rosie, ready? Oh, come! Yes! Well done! Treats, 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 praise, praise, praise. Good dog, good dog, good dog. Well done. Yes, well done. You did a good job. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Okay. So with come and recall, you want the reward to be very, very big and huge for the dog so that they remember, oh hey, when I came, I got a huge reward. And they'll come more consistently and more often and faster with more enthusiasm. You can't go in there, Dad. Okay, so when we teach recall or come, we want to teach it in the way of games. Because us humans, we kind of, when you think training time, we think work. But if we think games, we think fun and play. So I like to employ a lot of games when I train recall. My favorites are hide and seek, two-person recall, back and forth, and I'll include all of these in the form of PDFs in her go-home packet and in future emails. There's also a DVD I recommend you to get. It's all about recall, all about off-leash recall and off-leash obedience. It's called Leash Off, Game On by Absolute Dogs. You can get it online by searching Absolute Dogs Leash Off, Game On DVD, and it should be one of the top few results. The DVD itself is free, but you're going to have to pay shipping because it's from the UK. It'll be around $16. I recommend it to all my clients. It's a great resource, super fun, very informative with a lot of resources. So go ahead and get that. It'll help you a lot with training her to come and call and building a bond with you guys, so that when you're out in public and you're maybe at the park with friends or whatever's going on, she's going to be very in tune with you, wanting to be with you all the time, instead of going off to sniff birds or chase cars or chase cats, whatever the case may be. She's going to want to stay near you and ignore those kind of distractions. All right, let's move on to our sit, down, and stand. These 3 commands we teach in a sequence called puppy push-ups, and it helps to get a bit of exercise in with the dog, helps them to move some muscles while getting a lot of work and a lot of training time in. All right, Miss, come over here. Hey, sweet girl, well done. All right, so let's start with the sit. So our sit command is holding your fingers in a pinch salt, and you're going to flick your wrist up into a sit. You start with the dog that is already standing up, so that you can just go down into a sit. Okay, good. Sit. Yes. Good. When she does the command, when her butt touches the floor, sit. Yes. Give her the marker cue, yes, and give her a treat. Now the next command is down. Yes. Good. Point your finger pointed to the ground in front of the dog. Down. So being a puppy, Rosie, you should hold your hand closer to the floor with her. She doesn't quite understand that down is the same way you're standing up. So if you are standing up, you want to have your hand closer to the ground when we ask her to do. Down. Yes. And in time, you can raise yourself up, raise your body up until you can give the command from a standing position. But for now, give the command closer to the floor. Sit. Okay, good. Sit. Yes. Our last command in the sequence is stand. So we're going to flat palm to the dog about chest level and pull them out of the sit. Good. Sit. Good. Ready? Stand. Yes. We're wanting the dog to target the hand as a goal to go to. Sit. Do it again. Stand. Yes. Good. Perfect. And a treat comes out of the opposite hand. Well done, miss. That's so smart, dog. Yeah, good job. Yes, yes, well done. Well done. Okay. Our next commands we're going to go over are leave-its. So these commands, they're one of my favorites to teach because I love watching the puppies gain this concept. It's so cute watching the little minds work. So we teach leave-it in 2 ways. We teach it with food and with objects. And each way is taught a bit differently, but the concept is the same. So when we say leave it to our dogs, we want them to understand they can't touch it and just to give us some space. It's not theirs. I wouldn't use leave it with things the puppy is going to get eventually, such as their toys, chew bones, maybe an old sock you're going to give her to play with tomorrow. Only use it for things you know that she is not going to have access to or that aren't hers, so that she isn't going to be confused of, oh, I had this one day, no, I suddenly can't. And the same thing with food. Don't leave it with her on kibble unless you're not going to give it to her. You can save it for this training session and do a swap, whatever the case, whatever you want to do with that. But only use it for foods that you're not going to be giving her immediately. So what I mean by that is you want to train the foods that the food you're going to have her leave, you're not going to give to her, so that she understands this isn't going to be her treat. So let's start with the food leave-it. So we started with bait treat in one hand and bait in the other. The bait treat is not hers to get. She can never be allowed to eat this treat, but this treat we're going to be giving her. Okay. Well done. So to start it out, sitting in front of the dog. Sit. Sit. Good. We're going to present our bait hand. Oh, sit. I know. Leave it. Yes. Ask her to leave the treat alone. But when she does so, say yes and bring the treat down for her reward. Over here. Well done. Leave it. Yes. We're waiting for her to back off to give us a space, and then when she does so, yes, and treat. Let's do that again. Here. Good. Leave it. Yes. Well done. So she's doing really well with a closed fist. Then you can start opening up your hand. Leave it. Yes. Well done. As soon as she looks away or gives us some space, I'm going to say yes to give her a treat. Well done. Oh, they go awesome. Wow. Leave it. Yes. If she's persistent, I'm going to close my hand out so that she can't get the treat. Leave it. Yes. Well done. Now we're going to do a drop. Leave it. Ready? Leave it. Yes. Well done. Leave it. Good. If she goes for it, just cover it up so that she can't have it. Oh, leave it. There we go. Gotta go away from it, y'all. Well done. Alright, make it a bit harder for you, love. Ready for this? Leave it. Yes. Good. Leave it. Yes. Good girl. You're so cute. Come here. Come here. Good. I'm being very careful to only give her treats out of my left hand because my right hand holds the bait. You can switch it up as you go along, and how you would do that is just change hands every session so that she's not going to be giving the treat out of the right hand and the left hand in the same session. Good job, miss. Okay. Put your treat in here. You do. Okay. So, we're going to do standing leave it. Ready? Leave it. Oh. If she goes for it, cover it up. Try again. Do that one more time. Leave it. Yes, well done! And give her a treat away from the object. Good! Well done. A bit of a blunder there. Give her the treat out of the right hand. But that's okay, because the treat is on the floor. Ready? Leave it. Yes, well done. That's a good miss. That's a good miss. Okay, now we're going to move on to an object. Leave it. So I have here a pillow. This isn't Rosie. She's never going to have this, so it's just great to practice with. All right, ready? So with object leave it, it's a much faster concept, and we teach it a lot faster because she's never going to be able to ingest this and it's gone. You know, you have the ability to take it away from her. But how we teach it is the same way, where she isn't allowed to have it, and we're going to reward her for looking away from it or adding distance. I've had some dogs who do this kind of leave it. They back up out into the next room over. I think it's the cutest thing, and I reward them for doing so, and they're very happy to stay away from it. It's the cutest thing. Ready? All right. Look. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Leave it. Yes. Well done. Say yes as she looks away from it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Leave it. Yes. Well done. And give her a treat away from the object. Well done. That was so smart. It's over here. No, it's over here. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, we did it. That's so smart. I didn't tell you that, but you did a good job. That's so smart. Leave it. Leave it. Thank you. That's so good. If she goes through the object, add a bit of a correction. I like to just use a snap or take her away from it to show her it's not hers, she can't have it. If she's persistent with it, I don't think that she would be, but if she is persistent with it, take her time with it, show her that it's not hers, show her that the reward is going to be much better than the object you're asking her to leave alone. Alright, let's move on. We're gonna do our drop it now. So leave it and drop it are similar commands. The difference being with drop it, you use it for things she already has in her mouth. Leave it is for things she's going to get or you don't want her to touch. All right, ready? Come on. Yes, yes, good girl. Well done. Well done. Rosie loves toys. She loves fetch. And these kind of toys are her favorite. Like the ropes and speakers. Yeah. Well done. We'll get it. Where is it? We'll get it. Good job. Where is it? Come here. With you. So you do need to drop it. I would reward her first for bringing you the toy. A little bit of tug. When you ask her to drop the toy, hold it on either side of her mouth and give the command, drop it. Yes! When she backs off, yes, and toss the treat. Toss the toy. If it's something that she isn't allowed to have, toss the treat instead or give her a treat. Because when she's still learning with you guys, if she's told to drop objects and there isn't a reward involved, she won't want to drop them anymore or very often because it's not fun for her. Good job, good job. In order to have her bring you the toy, bring you the object, you want to reward her for dropping the object. Good. So what if she has a sock in her mouth or one of your shoes? You want her to drop it. You don't want her to run off with it and play chase. So what you would do is call her to you and ask her to drop it. Yes, so she does. Either toss a treat or give her the object back if it's something that she's allowed to have. Oh, is that so fun and awesome? Yes, it is. Oh, it is. Oh, I know. Oh, it's so fun. Woohoo! Drop it. Yes, we get it. Well done. That's a smart game. Rosie, where is it? I know, you do that too. Oh, it's so smart. Oh, it's so smart. Yeah. Ready? Drop it. Yes. Good. Give her a treat for dropping that one. Well done. Put these up. The last few commands we're going to go over are don't with boundary training and off. Leave it. Yes. Well done. You can't have that silly dog. Okay. So with boundary training, if you have a room in your house where you don't want her to go, this is where you would use this. So when you're training a don't, that's our command for this, you want to make sure you have a line that's very distinct to separate room from room. Like, for example, carpet to hardwood, or laminate to carpet, or cement to tile. This is very visually strong, which you can catch the distinction very quickly. If your house doesn't have a clear distinction, maybe your house is all hardwood, just get a piece of painter's tape, the big blue 50, and lay it across the boundary line and use that instead. Rubbing on this side of the line. Sit. Good. So when you're training this, you want to have your feet on the wrong side of the line and her on the right side of the line. What you're going to do is draw a line with your finger. Don't. Take a step back. Yes. And come back and reward. Well done. Don't. Yes. Well done. Good. She should learn to not cross over and not follow you. If you come over to your side, she's free to come with you. Well done. All right, ready? When you're about to cross over into the wrong side of the room for her, make sure she sees you and ask her to sit before you give the command. Don't. And you cross over. Good job. Well done. If she does cross over, we're going to have her fail. I'm going to pull her leash over. If she does cross, we have the command out. Just tell her to go out. Out. Yes, and give her a treat and all four paws are on the right side of the area. Good. We want her to know that amazing things happen when she stays on her side of the room, and nothing good happens when she crosses over. She should not get any reward or any reinforcement on this side of the line. It should all happen on this side of the line. Well done. So good, so that she won't cross over. Well done, miss. So good. All right, the last command we're going to go over is our off. Alright, so let's train this with a chair. Come here. What you're gonna do is hold the treat over the chair. Off. Yes, give it the command and toss the treat when you have all 4 paws on the floor. Good, Roses, come here. Come here. Off. Yes. Good, our off command is pointing to the floor. Okay, come on. Say, no, I know better. Good, off. Yes. Well done. Okay, this command is great for furniture or even people. We like our puppies to sit when we greet somebody new, but if she doesn't sit, then she jumps up, tell her off. When she gets down, have your guest give her a treat and take off with them. And we will go over guest greeting in the go home session very extensively, so we're not going to cover that today. Alright, so my name is Natalie Allred with Happy Tails Dog Training. This is Rosie. This has been her graduation go home video. If you have any questions about what we covered today, or you would like some refreshers or some more information, feel free to just give us a call, let us know what's going on, and we'll see you in a few days. Thanks, bye guys.